Yo, this is Lefty. Alright, I'm going to give you a quick rundown of tonight's fights. Now, I think it's about a few hours before fight time. So, let's get this started. We got a busy night. You know, it's a bit of a change of pace from from about the last month. You know, it hasn't been as busy as I would like it to be, but, let's get it started. Alright. So, we got Marcus Brown against Shawnee Monahan. Monahan is a former top-ranked fighter, really protected, really sheltered. I don't think he's I think he's a B-minus level fighter. And I think Brown starches him in this fight. Brown, I think, was coming off his last fight. He was coming off of his career longest layoff. And I expected him to be a little bit more sloppier than he was. And I expected him to be, obviously not as sharp. I expected some ring rust. And he didn't show that at all. He showed that he was in the gym, focused the whole time. So I'm expecting that Marcus Brown. And I'm expecting a Marcus Brown knockout in the middle rounds. If you want a number, 5 to 8, I'd say. Omar Figueroa against Robert Guerrero. Robert Guerrero was upset not too long ago against pretty much a no-name fighter. He's been in a lot of wars. He's long in the tooth. There's no shame in losing to Omar Figueroa. I think Omar Figueroa takes this fight based on his youth. Even though he's been inactive and hurt, I think that his youth and just him being the fresher fighter carries the day. I think also he's got a hand speed advantage in this fight too that he should be utilizing and throwing combinations behind and turning the now slow-footed and slow-handed Robert Guerrero, who seems to be more leading with his chin over his front foot than he ever has. And that's one of the signs of a shot fighter, any trainer will tell you. So I'm looking for Figueroa to look really good against Guerrero, but if Guerrero is sharper than what I expect him to be, this could be like a really entertaining fight and maybe even a fight of the year type fight. So I'm really excited to see that. Now on to the HBO part. The last two fights I just outlined were on PBC. This is getting to the HBO bad fights. Boxing After Dark. Not that these fights are bad. But, so we're getting into Joe Smith against Sullivan Barrera. Joe Smith has had a couple of good wins. He's an undefeated fighter. He's got really, really heavy hands. However, Barrera isn't B-Hop. And B-Hop was outboxing Joe Smith at 52 years old for sustained periods in the fight before he got knocked out of the ring. So we can't ignore that like it didn't happen. And I think I know Barrera has the better amateur background. And I know Barrera beat another supposed power-punching undefeated Russian guy in his last fight. And if Joe Smith doesn't vary his attack, if he doesn't throw a feint, if he doesn't lead with the right hand every once in a while, if he doesn't do certain things to throw off Barrera in attacking, Barrera will counter him all night. And that's kind of what I'm expecting. I don't expect Joe Smith to all of a sudden develop finesse in his offensive game. I expect him to go in there and bomb out Barrera, or try to, and I expect Barrera to be able to counter and show off his better skill set. However, this is the kind of fight that anything could happen. But just know in your mind, Barrera is a 2-1 favorite in this fight. Jezreel Corrales versus Robinson Castellanos. Corrales, I really wish he would have fought Lomachenko, but he didn't. And I think Corrales is a better level fighter than what Castellanos beat. Even though his last fight he did beat a really good fighter and it was really unexpected, Corrales is just another level. And It's just another level it's just a level that I don't think Castellanos can compare to or be competitive with. I'd expect Corrales, to win by, he should be able to win by knockout about 8th or 9th round, but he should be able to, put this dude away. That's what I'm looking for. And as for Berchelt and Miura, people are looking for this fight to be a war. I don't think it's going to be a war. I think Miura is too slow-handed and too slow-footed. And I think Berchelt's jab is too good for that fight to be competitive. I think Miura is going to get beat up in it. And I think they're going to stop it before the 6th round. But I'm hoping that I'm wrong. And I'm hoping that all these fights are really, really good. Because it's not often that we get 6 fights to watch, 6 quality fighters or 12 quality fighters and 6 quality fights. So it's good to be back with a good night of boxing. And if you like what you hear, or even if you don't like what you hear, just like the channel, sub me, like me. Lefty's out. Have a great weekend. It's good to be back.